Hi guys, today's video we're going to take you through a few pros and cons of travelling with your dog.
Okay, so I'm just going to start off with listing off all the cons that we've found so far just for us personally as we travel with a pet. So the first one and the main one that people get stuck on and is like a big impact is national parks. So Australia has tons and tons of national parks, and as you know, basically none of them allow any dogs or pets at all. There's a couple sprinkled throughout Australia that actually do, but majority actually you can't take them in. So that I find is ours and other people's sort of biggest inconvenience, and just knowing what to do with them, and if you do want to visit a national park, how you go about it. Another con that we've found is it can be a really grey area sometimes as to whether certain pets are allowed into a campground. There's lots of different types of campgrounds: free camping, state parks, U-camps, station stays, and lots of them are very particular on what animals they allow. And even if it says that dogs are allowed, sometimes when we've called places, they'll actually say, oh, we will assess a case-by-case basis on the individual dog. So that can be a little bit tricky depending on what dog you're travelling with and what people think is acceptable to allow in their camping area and their properties and things like that. Another thing we've found difficult is non-pet friendly tours and other things like that. So similar to national parks, you have to find somebody to look after them, or you know, if you do have a caravan, leaving them in the caravan, things like that. But yeah, dog friendly tours and things are absolutely awesome, but they're not as common as obviously non-dog friendly ones. Another thing we find is eating out can be more difficult. We have to look for places to eat that are sort of like pubs or cafes and things like that, that you can have some outdoor seating, and obviously that pets are also allowed to be. So it's a little bit harder than just going out to different restaurants and things whenever you feel like it. With shopping, we usually find just one of us instead of both of us will go in and do the groceries and things like that, so that one of us is with Scout while he's in the car and things like that, so we know he's not getting too hot and worked up, because sometimes he can get a little bit angsty when we leave him. Another downside, because we live and have everything in our car, is dog hair gets absolutely everywhere through everything. Another con is having to pick up dog poo every single day. I think one of the biggest ones we've found and the biggest impact that's hard to get around is when we have to book in our car at a mechanic. We've had 2 times so far where it's gone longer than we thought, and the car needed to be kept at the mechanic for over 1 day, so overnight. It's a lot harder to book accommodation, whether it be a motel. If you're not near a caravan park, you need to book a motel plus someone to look after the dog, and motels are pretty easy to find at short notice, but having someone to look after your dog is really hard to find at short notice. That's probably been, I would say, our most difficult thing so far. It's also harder to sleep in of a morning, because you know, you can't just lay in, we have to actually climb down, let Scout out and things like that. So it's not just the same as just laying around and looking after yourself. Also, we find it comes down to the type of dog you have. So if your dog is a barker or antisocial or like too friendly, that can all really change how your experience is traveling with a dog. So if your dog is really aggressive, obviously that's going to be a lot harder for you in certain situations. Our dog is really friendly, like too friendly, so when he sees other dogs he like always wants to play and will bark and stuff at them. So a lot of the time that's difficult if we're camped close to other people that have dogs and things like that. Another con is there is a lot of dangers for pets on the road. So there's all the wildlife, snakes and things, there's ticks, there's different things they can pick up along the way, and there's also baits in different areas of Australia, so there is a lot more things you have to look out for when you have a pet to look after. So there's lots of stuff extra that you have to carry to have a dog with you. They need a spot, they need a bed, they need a lead, they need bowls, they need food, they need water, all that sort of stuff. So you need to have space for all of that and for them to be comfortably with you as you travel. So I think that's all the cons that we've found so far in our travels. So Chris is going to talk to you about all of the positives and advantages of having a dog with you as you travel.
Okay, so some of the advantages to having a dog, obviously the number one would probably just be they are your dog and they're great company. I don't know if I would buy a dog to travel with, but yeah, if you have an existing dog that's part of the family, I would definitely be taking it with you. They're just great company. They're good motivation to, you know, get up and go for a walk that you might not have gone for, or, you know, stuff like that, like getting them out and about. Depending on the type of dog, it's sort of like a bit of comedic relief. Our dog Scout is a bit of a weirdo, so there's not really a day goes by where you're not laughing at him for some reason.
Yeah, he's a nutcase.
So in a setup like ours, where we can be up in the rooftop tent and, you know, have the windows zipped up or whatever, you can't always see everything around you. So they can be quite good security. They'll always let you know if something's around or someone's near your camp, stuff like that. That can be a bit of an issue in caravan parks where someone's just going to the toilet through the night, but they normally pick up on it pretty well. If you're in a crowded area, he doesn't seem too worried about it. Yeah, and a bark or few from him can be a bit of a deterrent for somebody that might have sort of been going towards your camp and just heard a bark and then decided to move on. So another one would definitely be meeting people that you normally wouldn't have. So you go to dog parks or just on a walk, there's a lot of people out there that just love dogs and have dogs, obviously. So they are a pretty good way of meeting different people as you travel around. So as you can probably tell, guys, there are more, I guess there's more cons than there are pros, but the pros outweigh the cons in our opinion. If you have a dog already, you obviously love your dog and they're part of the family, you just can't really leave them behind. At least if you take them with you, you know they'll have the best care with yourself looking after them. If you're just doing weekend trips or a week here and there, it's a bit different, but if you're gonna do a big lap and full-time travel like we are, it's a different story. As I said before, I don't think it would be a good idea to get a dog specifically for the trip, but obviously if you have one already, don't leave them behind, take them with you and you'll have a great time and so will they. So hope you all learnt something from that. If you travel with your pets, feel free to write anything in the comments that you find good or bad about it to help out anybody else that's considering or currently traveling with their pets. As you can tell, we do travel with our pet and we absolutely love having him with us, and he absolutely loves it as well. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Come on, sit. Down, buddy. Sit. Down. Sit. He's loving that. I don't know what I'm saying there, like that's not... So okay, I think they're all the bad things. He's a good boy. Alright, go. You alright? You're alright. Who's that? Who's that? Who is it? He's so...